Hello from your Astro friend Sahara, and also your beautiful dreamer Sahara. I hope that I have a few dreams to bring you, but I want to focus on today's elections, the midterms, and Texas, Florida, Tennessee. There's a lot of votes going on. And the thing that I wanted to focus on was the blue wave and was it going to be successful. And from an earlier prediction I did, we have Florence headed right towards it, Carolinas, Virginia, and Georgia. And my reading predicted it was a category 4. My reading predicted that it would drop down to a category 2, and that might be happening, and it drops down very quickly to a tropical storm as soon as it hits the Carolinas. The problem is, of course, the storm surge. I lived a long time in Myrtle Beach. What a wonderful place. So my prayers is with them. But of course they're going to have the water, but the winds are going to go down according to my prediction. Let's cross your hands. It was our fingers. It was a 4, so we're going to hope that it drops down. And I only have a little bit of time before a client shows up, so I'm going to focus on the blue wave, Beto O'Rourke, and the Florida primaries. And I use the Astro dice that are very, very helpful. I went over this the last time. I actually did, hold on, let me get my pointer. I did one of my first Astro dice predictions was for the weather in California. I just didn't know how this would work for larger issues. I'd only did people before, and so I thought, oh, I did this last year. I said, well, let me focus on something really benign and wouldn't really mean any difference. Excuse me. So I said, okay, I'm in California. How's the weather? The funny thing was, California had been in a drought for like 10 years. Ever since I came here, drought warnings, signs on the road, flashing signs about the drought and how to curb use. And that was just, I thought that was that way all the time here. Flashing signs, don't use water. And so I said, how's the water? We're going to have some rain. How's the weather? So I threw out the dice, and it came out wonderful. I said, oh my gosh, this doesn't make any sense at all. And I actually posted the reading, Good Weather in California. And gosh, I did this last spring, 2017. And don't you know, in April of 2017, the drought broke and all kinds of water and rain. And it was a good thing. But now it's 2018 and we need rain again. But I was so shocked. I was surprised. I did something that just an exercise. So we're going to focus on number 1, the hurricane is going to be downgraded. Of course, I'm getting the word tropical all the time. This is a monster storm, so we're going to see. And I guess it's very strange. It's very funny. And what's breaking in all of this is a black woman from the South. Now, I got this before with one of my dreams, and a black governor, gubernatorial candidate, a woman in Georgia, of all places. The next day, maybe like a week later, I saw a wave of blue wave ladies, and I knew a woman from the South was going to run a woman of color. And I was like, oh, this is good, Georgia of all things. And here she showed up. Her name is Stacey Abrams, I believe. She is a bright light on the future. And it's funny, I don't think they're having um, not having races in Georgia, but I'm getting this wonderful vibration of a black woman. And I don't know why. It has a lot to do with this storm. So we're going to find out how these things weave together. Already, I was so glad to see a bright face like Stacey's on the scene. And boy, was that a surprise to me, because we're talking Georgia here. I grew up a lot in the South, and that's kind of impossible. So, the things you want to know about is, I think the real key states are Beto O'Rourke and the Black Tallahassee mayor. His name slips my mind. He's gorgeous to look at. He's refreshing to look at. It's like Gillum something, Andrew Gillum. So let's look, because these are big elections, and I did Kavanaugh didn't look too good for him. I did him in the last Astro dice thing. I think I lost the stone that really showed up for him. Was like, uh-oh. We have people locked up here, but it's more like they're locked up for mental and physical problems, and everything's wrong with this. Even if he gets a nomination, it's not good for him, the country, for anybody. So, he might make it, but everything's topsy-turvy. I'm seeing another seat open on the Supreme Court, so we have more unknown. Welcome to the United States, country of the unknown. So, I mean, this is like, it's like Alice in Wonderland. What's next? Let's look seriously at our blue wave people. They're so hopeful. So I've got my Astro. I think the gems are going to tell the story. Oh, I'm going to throw it again. I feel like my plate is tipped. Let's try it again. We need, if they all roll into the bottom, that's not good. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness, look at this. And I explained these to you the last time. If you know any astrology, this is so enlightening. You can find out so much from these things. Aries, big changes. Aries is a ball of fire, and he is falling in the fourth house. See, this is the fourth house. First, second, third, fourth. It's right on the cusp. So this is a young male making a big change. Okay, that's about all. But this is in the home. This is in the White House. This is in our roots. So, and this is a young man. So, let's kind of roll with it. And remember, we looked over these stones last time. Let's see, what do we have here? I'm getting good focus on this. One moment. That's the first house. Oh dear, I picked it up. I think it was here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, I shouldn't pick up those stones. I couldn't see this. First house. Okay, what does this mean? Initiative changes with education. Again, we got that again. This is a very useful, change-oriented. Things are going to happen on a positive level with our allies that have been traditionally in Europe and Japan, and so some things are happening. Once again, we have real male energy charging into the mix with our foreign allies. And we're going to be once again very forceful with them, but they're going to support us for a change. They've been terrified by what's going on in the United States. Having Trump in charge of nuclear weapons is indeed scary. Now up here, I lost my it's okay. My tripod is broken. Okay. Up here, what do we have? La Luna. Okay, this is the moon. And so we had the one on the ninth house. Once again, we're having um, foreign influences that are some a little on the mysterious side. And that's why we're going to get into some hacking by the ISIS type entities, but that's for the next reading because that's coming in, and we're having what? Yeah, I get the song. There's a bad moon on the rise. This is foreign invasion from ISIS type operations, and I can explain that in the next reading. But I haven't got time for today. I have some things to have some clients coming in. So what we have is big changes with education. It's going to change so much so that we're going to put our young people first for a change and make sure we get educated. Ignorance does not work. And big changes in the this is initiative changes in the let me move this up here. This is initiative changes. This is a really fast talking, smooth male figure. Could be a woman male figure, but it's a very strong male energy coming into the what I want to say is the foundation coming into the White House. So this is amazing. We have young male energy coming into our government that's going to change everything. And we have big changes, positive changes that came out in the last reading with education. And however, we have foreign influences. While we're going to be in good terms with our European allies, they're going to help us repair and have faith in us again. And perhaps give us a hand with our help us mend our UN standing and things like that, and NATO standings and trade agreements. That's going to get mended by some really good energy. But we've got some ISIS type influences coming in from another land, and I can explain that again. I don't know if I have time to do a few stones because they're the ones that really tell the story, and then I have to wrap it up. I got my stones, I shake them up, and I actually have too many of them to throw out. I want to be objective. I'll have to do them one at a time because I just didn't want to, you can overdo this, you know. You can get there's such a thing as too much information. Okay. Oh, good spread. Yahoo. All right. Once again, secrecy with money. This is the 12th house. We're hiding out. One thing, oh, wait a minute, let me make sure about this. This is the 3rd house. Great. I'm glad to see that. Sorry, made a mistake. 3rd house. I'm going to have to think about that. This is communications, and they're secretive, and they can be our undoing. This communications, 3rd house is undoing. This is your undoing. And that is falling into our election interference and the new ISIS type interference. Good for money. We're coming into finally clarity and transparency and super stable foundation in government. Thank God. These are very stable stones. These are rocks. and they lay your foundation. So we're getting back once again healthcare. This is healthcare. This is mending, but very, very sick. This is sick healthcare. I don't know what to say, but we got some work to do here. It almost makes me sick to look at it. This is far too complicated. I'll have to go into it later. This is some big health things coming in. And what do we have here? I wanted to say we're making up with our partners in the rest of the world, including Canada. This is, once again, we're going to straighten out our shared finances that have been interfered with, our Medicare, health, shared monies is Medicare, and anything where we have shared monies, banks, um, Federal Reserve, it's getting really rigged. Lots of things are coming to light with money. There's not going to be any secrets here anymore with what's happening to our money. And once again, we're getting action with the education. Thank God. Once again, this is all good with the money. This is like we're opening up transparency. We're going to fix some things with the basically the GOP has done a raid on shared monies like our health care. They've taken money that should have been used for Puerto Rico and FEMA, and they've been using it to lock up little children in concentration camps for children. That's what we've come to, and that's going to change. Thank God. How are we doing on immigrations? It's going to be a while, but things are a little better with that clarity, where we come up with some solutions for problems. We have overcrowding on our planet, and we have, like, literally millions of people want to come here, and population problems with overflow all over the world. We have to get a handle on that right away. So hopefully we're going to solve, we got a way to go with that problem with overpopulation. So this is very good. I'm seeing such a good foundation being laid here in our government. It's going to be shocking. Thank God. We're in such trouble with these bozos. So with this type of thing, this foundation here, I'm feeling, and the young energy, I think this is everything to do with the millennials coming in and laying the foundation. Big problems still with big pharma and problems holding back on cures, and that's another whole issue. We have some big issues we've got to look at, is the ISIS type people coming in, and it's complicated, but we have the money is straightening out. Thank God. We're going to not have our Medicare rated, and monies that are supposed to go towards health care and educate people, the people, that we've elected these people to be guardians of our money, and look what they're doing. So this is very good for minimum wage raises. Thank God. That's what this is over here. We have some big good changes. And this is, once again, sneaky communications and people changing their mind. Say one thing, do another. Now, that's another thing to look into. But we're having a good change. I can't say if this blue wave, it looks like the blue wave is going to lay stable foundations. Let's put it this way. Whoever comes out in the midterms for right now, September the 13th, a Thursday, a foundation is being laid. Let's say even the crooked GOP people, candidates win. There might be a different type. We have better people coming in and throwing out the crummy people. And just restoring sanity. This is very good too. This is a horse of a different color. So with that, I feel good about the elections. The hurricane is going to be downgraded, not to be ignored, but it is going to be downgraded. Um, Education and health is they're going to have to keep working on the health thing. The money is really, if you're worried about your money, if you have money in the stock market, boy, does this look good. So have faith in our system. So I bid you adieu. I wanted to say one thing. I need new equipment, so please subscribe. So I get paid by subscriptions, and I've got to get some new equipment that is really fun stuff. Um, so I want to say, out of all this, plus the midterms, looks good. The right people are going to get in. This is too shiny. The right people are going to get in to save us, and the hurricane is going to just dump a lot of water, but it's going to be downgraded very quickly to a tropical storm. And I want to just say one thing. God bless America.